Gents, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the mind of the mysterious Sigma male. Today, we're unraveling the untold struggles of every Sigma male's childhood. You know, those silent battles that molded him into the stoic, independent, and powerful man he is today. Sigma males aren't born strong. They're forged through fire. And today, we're going to take a closer look at 10 defining struggles that shape every Sigma male in his early years. Grab your drink, get comfy, and let's dive into this. And hey, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you're ready to walk the path of the Sigma male. Let's go! Number 1. The Lone Wolf Syndrome. Let's face it, every Sigma male knows the sting of isolation. As a child, it wasn't that he didn't want to fit in. It's just that the traditional group dynamics never made sense to him. While other kids ran in packs, craving validation and approval, our young Sigma wandered alone. He wasn't antisocial. He simply enjoyed his own company. Gents, this isn't your average introvert behavior. We're talking about a deep, almost instinctual need to be apart from the herd. This isolation led to a deep sense of independence, but it also carried the weight of loneliness. While others were playing tag, he was probably in a corner observing, thinking, and learning the ropes of life from a distance. But trust me, this was his superpower in the making. Number 2. The early struggle with authority. Authority and rules? Yeah, not exactly a Sigma male's best friend growing up. From an early age, Sigma males have this inbuilt radar for nonsense. When a rule didn't make sense, they didn't blindly follow it. Unlike other kids who would comply without question, the Sigma would ask, why? And not in the annoying toddler way. He genuinely needed to understand the logic before giving his allegiance. This struggle with authority figures often got young Sigmas in trouble. Teachers, parents, coaches, they all saw him as defiant or rebellious. But really, he wasn't trying to stir the pot. He just had a natural resistance to following blindly. This shaped him into someone who questions the status quo, never accepting things at face value. If you're nodding your head right now, gents, I bet you felt that too. Number 3. Socially misunderstood, yet quietly observant. Ever felt like nobody truly got you when you were younger? That's the life of a young Sigma. He's not shy, but he's not one to engage in superficial small talk either. While other kids were all about chatting up a storm, he stayed quiet, not because he had nothing to say, but because he knew not everyone deserved his energy. Here's the thing, Sigma males observe everything. While he was silently sitting in the back of the classroom or off on his own during recess, he was absorbing every detail. People's behaviors, motivations, patterns. He was piecing together the puzzle of human nature long before anyone else. He was misunderstood for his silence, but deep down he was quietly building his expertise in understanding the world. Number 4. Struggling with emotional expression. Emotions, something a Sigma male feels deeply but rarely shows. As a child, Sigma males found it hard to express their feelings. When other kids would cry or throw tantrums, he'd bottle it up, not wanting to appear vulnerable. The world felt a little too intense for him, and he learned to guard his emotions tightly. This emotional reserve didn't come without consequences, though. Growing up, he probably struggled with building deep emotional connections, simply because he didn't know how to express what was going on inside. But here's the flip side. This struggle made him emotionally self-reliant, sharpening his ability to handle life's challenges alone. And let's be real, gents, being able to stand on your own emotionally, that's one of the Sigma male's greatest strengths. Number 5. Being the black sheep of the family. Family gatherings? Holidays? Yeah, for the Sigma male, those were a whole different challenge. Growing up, he was probably the odd one out, the black sheep, the one who never quite fit the mold of what the family expected. Maybe your family pushed you toward a specific career, or maybe they expected you to act a certain way. But as a Sigma male, you never wanted to follow the beaten path. This naturally led to friction, misunderstandings, and sometimes even conflict within the family. But instead of bending to fit their expectations, you stood firm, choosing your own path even if it meant walking it alone. Gents, if you've ever felt like the outcast in your family, this is a defining Sigma male struggle. It's tough, but it builds the inner strength to trust your own judgment over anyone else's. Number 6. Constantly underestimated. Remember being that kid who was constantly underestimated? Yeah, Sigma males know this struggle all too well. Teachers, parents, even friends. They looked at him and saw someone quiet, reserved, maybe even aloof, and assumed he wasn't capable of much. But here's the thing. Sigma males thrive on being underestimated. It's almost like fuel to the fire. While the world was busy doubting him, he was silently working on his skills, sharpening his mind, and preparing for the moment when he'd prove them all wrong. And when that moment came, oh gents, it was glorious. The look of shock on people's faces when a Sigma male exceeds all expectations. That's a feeling every Sigma knows too well. Number 7. Struggling with group dynamics. Group projects in school, absolutely the worst for a Sigma male. While other kids were all about collaboration, bouncing ideas off each other, the Sigma male found it frustrating. Why? Because he didn't need a team to tell him what to do. In fact, group dynamics often slowed him down. He wanted to work at his own pace, in his own way, without having to compromise with others. This made group work a constant source of stress for Sigma males growing up. He'd end up doing most of the work while the others goofed off, or he'd just check out entirely, knowing he could do a better job alone. But this struggle, it led to his fierce independence. Sigma males learn early on that they don't need anyone to get things done. They can do it all on their own, and often better than anyone else. Number 8. Feeling out of place in childhood friendships. As a child, friendships were a strange territory for Sigma males. He'd always feel slightly out of place, like he didn't quite belong. While other kids formed tight-knit groups, the Sigma male drifted in and out of social circles, never fully committing. It wasn't that he didn't want friends. He just valued genuine connection over popularity. This struggle of feeling out of place made friendships tough. He wasn't interested in shallow relationships or social hierarchies, so he often found himself alone. But as time went on, this helped him develop a deeper sense of self. Sigma males learn early on that they don't need validation from others to know their worth. Number 9. The battle with perfectionism. Perfectionism. The double-edged sword every Sigma male has wielded since childhood. Growing up, Sigma males often set impossibly high standards for themselves. Whether it was schoolwork, sports, or hobbies, they had this relentless drive to be perfect. The problem? When they fell short, it hit hard. This battle with perfectionism often led to intense self-criticism. But instead of giving up, Sigma males use these setbacks to push themselves even harder. Over time, they learn to balance their pursuit of perfection with the reality of life's imperfections, emerging stronger and more resilient. Number 10. The need for freedom. And finally, gents, we get to the core of every Sigma male's childhood struggle, the need for freedom. Growing up, rules, restrictions, and societal expectations felt like chains around the Sigma male spirit. He craved freedom, freedom to think, freedom to act, freedom to be himself. This desire for autonomy often put him at odds with the world around him. But instead of conforming, he fought for his independence. This battle for freedom shaped the Sigma male into the lone wolf we admire today. Free-spirited, self-sufficient, and completely unafraid to carve his own path. And there you have it, gents, the untold childhood struggles that every Sigma male faces. These challenges may be tough, but they're what make the Sigma male so powerful. They're the fire that forges his strength, independence, and wisdom. If you resonate with any of these struggles, know that you're on the path of the Sigma. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join this community. And let's keep pushing ourselves to embrace the qualities that make Sigma males so rare and impactful. Having said this, keep striving, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep being you.